So the question is, what to do about negative thoughts that tell you, oh, you don't need to meditate right now. Oh, you don't need to study right now. Oh, you don't need to prepare for your job interviews or for working out or whatever because uh, it just gets in the way, right? The negative thoughts that are detracting from positive action. This is where the Buddhists are at the best. This is where the Buddhists, I think. So the way they deal with this is first you meditate on death. And once you have a grown-up's attitude and you understand that you're going to die next, right? You're going to live a short while, then you're going to die. Then once you've grown up and you realize your life is limited, very very short, then you're less likely to waste as much of it. So that's one, meditation on death. Two is meditation on and contemplation of how rare being a human life is. And have we talked anything about when I talk about a duck in the ocean and a yoke, an oxen's yoke, that doesn't ring any bells for you. So let me do it right now. All right. One of the first things the Buddhists taught me was they said, this human life is very, very precious. It's actually very, very rare. And how rare, you ask? It's so rare that, and anyway, this is a story they tell. There's a Pacific Ocean. In the middle of the Pacific Ocean, there's two things. No, let's say on the eastern coast, there's two things. There's one thing. It's a duck, and it dives to the bottom of the ocean, and it comes up every 100 years. Okay, and on the North American side of the Pacific Ocean, oh, I got this. Yeah, yeah. There's the yoke of an ox. Do you know what that is? A yoke of an ox. It's like the collar for an ox. It's got a big hole at the top, about this big around, right, to fit the ox's neck in. So these two things are floating around. They're set loose and they float around in the Pacific Ocean. Every 100 years, or they may have said every 1,000, I don't recall, but every 1,000 years or 100 years, the duck dives down to the ocean and it comes straight back up. The chances of being born human are the same as the chances of that duck coming up through that ring in the yoke. In other words, it's very, very rare. And if you look around, look at all the living things. Look at all the different consciousnesses. They look different, but they're not different, but whatever. And look at all the things that have no consciousness or have no life. And take your pick. Would you rather be a cactus? Would you rather be a tree? Would you rather be a bird? Would you rather be a worm? Would you rather be whatever, so on and so forth. And you'll quickly come to the conclusion, hey, this is pretty rare. Because of all the life forms on this planet right now, I'm a human. And there's only like 6 billion humans. Do you know how many flies or mice or rabbits or fish there are, So a human life is a very, very, very rare occurrence. So you contemplate that too. Then you contemplate just what a crappy life is like. And you contemplate how's it going for you so far. Usually people realize they're pretty miserable. And they're not doing too well. And they don't feel too good. And their bodies aren't in great shape because they're not taking care of themselves. And they're not taking care of business because they don't know any better. They're ignorant, right? So the Buddhists address the first problem first. And so the first thing, with regard to books to start with, I think Gates to Buddhist Practice might be a good one. But I'm biased because that was one of my teachers. And he's not a great writer and so on and so forth, but he's very, very accessible. And he leaves out a lot of stuff, and I can help with that. So Gates of Buddhist Practice by Chagdud Rinpoche. Okay? And so these are just some of the beginning of practices. The Buddhists have all this worked out. Now the Sufis, it's less, it's more elegant. They have everything spread out. If you go through the Sufi corpus, they've plucked a beard out with tweezers, right? They cover a lot of bases. But for that, you have to take yourself seriously. Now, if you just want to be a clown, you're a clown. And you should go to the circus. And they'll be happy. The people will be happy. And you'll do the best you can, and that's fine, right? So the way this works is that the clowns go to the circus. That's fine. Lazy people go to who was that guru that, everybody just kind of lied around and, they loved it because you didn't have to sit up to meditate. You just lie there. And there was one in America, the one, you could lie around, have all the sex you want, get as loaded as you want. Hey, yeah, nothing's real or whatever. So that's just foolishness. And fools are attracted to foolishness, and lazy people are attracted to sloth. And so if you're a lazy person attracted to sloth, just go be one and forget all about this. You don't ever need to know about this, right? And in a way, sorry you heard about it. But actually, you're not that person, okay? But you want to make a big deal out of this and create a big mess in your mind because it's more interesting than actually going to the gym, getting up, eating healthy, working out, reading books, getting wholesome friends, developing wholesome habits, and getting rid of your crappy habits. So some people can't get that. And they're the same way when they're 50 as they were when they were 30. What are you going to say? That's fine. Let them do whatever they want to do. That's fine. That's not your business. And other people are doing something else. So when you're ready to get serious, let us know on this side. But until that, it's just a waste of time, right? So now we're getting into wasting time because if you're not willing to do any of the work and you think you're going to buy your way or trick your way or sell your way or I don't know, get rich by hanging around with rich people, that doesn't work here. I mean, it won't hurt you, but it's not. It's a waste of time, and time is the most precious thing there is, right? Truth. Forget that. It's in this world because this world is so quick. You'll see like boom, a lifetime. Wow. And I remember being your age, and the old people would tell me that, and I'd go, oh, yeah, right. And then you'll see. So there are many people who regret their lives. And so don't. It's not like you have to worry about being on the outside and not having any company. Most people are miserable.